Welcome to Great Match Generator, episode number 21, here on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. I just got a new microphone, so I sound better. As you noticed on the Rich Latta breaking news audio, I just had gotten that new microphone, and it was sweet to get that new microphone.
You sounded great, and as I told you, that was some great audio you guys did.
Yeah, on the Cody breaking news situation, which that has brought out the worst in the internet, but we digress here on the Great Match Generator podcast. We're not here to talk about current wrestling because current wrestling sometimes sucks. You know? Yeah. We're here to talk about classic wrestling. And classic wrestling brings out the best in people. Didn't you feel a lot better watching these matches or watching a classic match and feel like you didn't have to have a take or a hot take?
Yeah, I've watched this. All of these matches I actually streamed on our Discord server, and it was fun. It was a fun watch along.
Yeah, I watched these on my own because I've been hella busy lately because work has been picking up and I just haven't taken the time to really sit down with anything. And that's my fault.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's also, and like, it's just life sometimes,
For sure.
You feel like you're in a go mode 24/7. So
yeah,
let's start with Hulk.
I've started to try to. Yeah, go ahead.
No, continue your point here.
Yeah, my thing is I've gotten lucky lately. I've been able to just kind of slow down. It's hard. I get it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so hard sometimes, and I feel like a dumbass, But let's digress into some wrestling instead of talking about our personal lives, which some of you guys don't even care about. Not to say that none of you guys care about it, but it's my outlet, so you guys have to care about it. Hulk Hogan versus Harley Race.
Harley Race versus the racist.
Harley Race versus the racist. Yes, indeed. He was wearing white, so he was white knighting. No, all jokes aside. All jokes aside, this was actually pretty decent for what it is, for what it was.
I mean, you can tell it's, Harley in his last hurrah. There's a hot start to it. It's kind of, like most of those WWF main events back then, or WWF main events back then. What did you think on this one?
I thought it was okay. Nothing too special. I thought there was going to be blood because Hogan was wearing white.
I thought Harley would bleed. I had that in my notes too. I was like, this needs blood. I'm just watching and I'm like Harley will, hit his head on something. I'm like, okay, he's going to blade here.
But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
If this was the NWA, you sure as hell thought, oh, this would be blood.
Oh, yeah. That would have been a bloodbath for sure. I will say, I'm watching this. Hogan kicks out of the pile driver.
I was like, Hogan politic to kick out the pile driver. Let's be fair here.
Then he kicks and then it gets better. There's a floor pile driver.
And yes, I remember. Yes.
Well, it was like, My
The finish
God.
was dumb too. It wasn't even like Hogan hitting a pile driver. It was Hogan Harley trying to hit a diving headbutt, and he hits it on the bell, and then Hogan hits a belt shot, and then it was 1, 2, 3.
Terrible finish.
It was terrible. But the match was badass, I thought. It was a good brawl.
Yeah, it's I'd say it's one of the better Hogan matches I've seen.
This was sort of the start of the time. Bix was talking about this. There was a turn in like 86, 87 where Hogan was starting to work a little more awkwardly.
Yeah.
You sort of started to see that in this match. He wasn't working as hard. He took 2 pile drivers, but
he took 2 pile drivers from fucking Harley Race, who probably protected him pretty well.
Yeah. You trust Harley Race when you do the pile driver. So I gave this 3.5.
Exactly what I gave it.
I gave this 3.5. This was fun, but could have been a lot more. And it wasn't even Texas Death Rules. A pinfall finished it. It wasn't like a 10 count. Pinfall in a 10 count.
Yeah. Does WWF always suck with death matches? Like, quote unquote, death matches? Like, the last man standing matches are terrible anymore. And then, like, you've got
boot camp matches are good.
Yes.
Like when Slaughter's involved.
Yeah. Savage versus Crush at WrestleMania 10. That was kind of a sleeper. What did they call that?
This wasn't a sleeper, but this was sort of like no blood. It took me out of it.
Yeah.
But speaking of matches that did not take me out of it, Nasty Boys versus Steiners, and holy shit, I did not think this one would be good. I was dreading watching this, and then I was like, I'm in love with this.
I watched this around Halloween time last year, so like, but it wasn't like super like, let me take notes, let me whatever. I just kind of had it on as.
I took no notes. I took no notes in this match.
See, I
took
copious notes.
I took no notes. This one was the Jerry Sags show. Jerry Sags was very good in this match. He was the best performer in this match. That's my hot take.
It's God. I don't want to compliment the Nasty Boys at all.
I didn't want to compliment them either, but I'm like, Jerry Sags.
They were so good here. And I mean, the Steiners are the Steiners. Like, it's the Steiners in 1990. Like, you know what you're getting there.
Yeah, you know what you're getting, and it's fantastic. This was basically a big guy spot fest.
Yeah, I called it a bomb fest. They were bumping meat out there.
Yeah, they were bumping meat. And it was fantastic. 4.5 stars I gave this.
I went 4.25. Man, the Frankensteiner's so cool.
The Doomsday Bulldog is so cool.
Yeah, I was stunned to see the Nasty Boys take that. I don't remember which one it was. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
It was Knobs. That's okay.
I was stunned. I was like, there's no way he's gonna reverse.
And then Sags took the top rope belly to belly suplex. This match is etched into my mind because I loved it so much.
The hot tag was great too. Like the heat segment was really good, and then like the crowd became unglued
when Rick came in. Yeah, when Rick came in, it was like all gloves are off. I was marking out, and this is a match from 1990.
He hit that double clothesline, bro. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, he hit that double clothesline, and it was like, people were going ballistic for that. And it was just fantastic. Best match of Nasty Boy's career.
Oh, easily.
And it's funny because we had the Nasty Boys watch party coming up on the GWE Discord tomorrow. If I get this up in time, because tomorrow at 3:00 on the 26th, join us every Saturday at 3:00 for watch parties. Certain wrestlers get watch parties, and then Sunday is Joshi Day on the server at 3:00. So we're watching Joshi in chronological order, which is always fun. Gotta plug that GWE Discord.
Oh, of course. I now that you mentioned that, I'd like to shout out that Discord, and specifically Cass for he made me a Joshi playlist for my server, and it was incredible.
Yes. Cass is a good guy, so all the people there are good guys, so, and gals there on the GWE server, so incredible people. So I highly endorse that server, and a link will be in the show notes below. Let's go into a match I highly enjoyed again. Yuki Ishikawa versus Alexander Ochka.
I think you're going to be higher on this one than me.
Oh, I love this. This was slick. This was slick. This was fun. This was shoot style that I like. When you think shoot style, you think like slow, methodical. This was quick. This was fun. The combos were great. Suplexes. The finish was
There was
the finish came out in that
what
sick
was the
Kimura.
What was the finish?
So Otsuka was dominated. He was doing he did a tombstone into 2 full Nelson suplexes, and I just watched the match about an hour ago. So it was two full Nelson suplexes, and then he got a 9 count. Ishikawa got up. He hit a Tiger suplex, got up at 5, and then Ishikawa caught him with a Kimura.
Yeah, okay. I had it in my notes that I loved the finish, but I couldn't remember. I also
finish was a catch.
I also they did a giant swing spot and a shoot style. I don't think I like that. Like shoot style, a giant swing.
I was like, there was a Hurricanrana in there too. Oh, it's good.
I don't mind a Hurricanrana much. Wait, actually, you know what? I think I have seen a giant swing in an MMA fight. I'm okay with it now that I think about it.
This was fun. This was fun because they were just doing big bombs, big throws. The submission exchanges were smooth and they were realistic. It was fine. I gave this 4 1/4. This was fantastic.
Maybe I need to go back and watch. I put down 3 3/3, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I need
Alexander Otsuka really stood out to me because he was like awesome. He was like projecting himself as like a badass. Ishikawa is fine. And a lot of people like Ishikawa. But Alexander Ochka to me is just like, whoa. And then Kiyoshi Tamura versus, I'm not going to say that first name because I would butcher it. Mishima.
What did you think of this one?
I thought this was pretty good.
I thought it was like solid. Like it was like
solid. Yes, it was solid. It wasn't better than the other one.
No. It was kind of a basic grapple fuck match. Like, I mean, it's better than Terminus, but
you know, this was Mishima's first pro match.
No, I did not know that.
For a first pro match, this is phenomenal.
That's incredible. Wow, I did not know that. Okay, so I will say they did a really good job of making it look realistic for a shoot. That's the point of shoot style.
Yes,
and the submissions were really.
And Tamura looks like a god. Tamura looked like a freaking god.
Yeah. Oh, and the crowd was super into it. I went like, I think I was like at 3.25, 3.5. I didn't really have an exact.
Yeah, I went 3.5 on it because it was like something where it was like, it was impressive, but nothing all-time great. It was nothing all-time great.
No, it was just it was like a solid shoot style fight. Like,
this is like a micro-sized edition of this show, and I feel bad, but at the same time,
it's just how the match. It's just how the matches came out. Like, I just think it was a weird set of matches where we don't have
as much to say, and sometimes it will happen. Sometimes the show will be 15 minutes. Other times the show will be an hour. So it's perfectly fine, But next episode, Necro Butcher and Toby Klein versus Nick Gage and Justice Payne.
Oof. Are you into death matches? Are you into death matches?
I was for a time. This was like my era. This was like my era of death matches too.
So I got into death matches. Like I had watched almost no even FMW until like 2 years ago, because I always was just like kind of off it with that. And then I guess like some of the matches Moxley was having like kind of changed me or something. I don't know. And I was like, hell yeah, like, dude, death matches rule. Like, let me watch all the Onita possible. And yeah, I also really like Nick Gage. So he's like a live act though. Like, I know I'll probably get in trouble. Like, a lot of people dislike his style or whatever and think he's bad, but like, you got to see him live to understand.
Right. Yeah, you got to see him live to understand the whole act with Nick Gage. I haven't seen him live, but I sort of get it in a way.
It's like, I was at the what did they call the show that had the War Games match on it the night before All Out last year, like Art of War or something.
Art of War, yeah.
And I was there for that, and like, there's nothing like when For Whom the Bell Tolls comes on.
Yeah. We also have Rey Mendoza versus Tatsumi Fujinami. New Japan Pro Wrestling, 8/13/1978.
Oof.
Then we have Kiyoshi Tamura versus Volkan Rings, 9/26/1997.
Hell yeah.
And then we have British Bulldogs versus Heart Foundation, 9/23/1985.
Since on the topic of Brett and Dynamite, did you see the question that was on Twitter the other day where it was like, who from before 1990 would you put into current day AEW? And like, I kind of want your take on it.
Fujinami?
Yeah, that was one Rote brought up. We talked about Terry Funk. Like, we were trying to get
Funk would definitely be one where it would be like, this makes sense.
It would be worth it just for Funk for Mox.
Jumbo
would be good. Well, Jumbo, it depends on what Jumbo would be doing.
What it would depend on what Jumbo would be doing. If it's Grumpy Jumbo, then hell yes.
Yeah.
That
Brett and Dynamite came up a lot. That's why I asked the question after you mentioned that match. Yeah, there was it was
good debate. Probably good debates on there.
Yeah.
Ricky Steamboat. Did Steamboat come up a lot?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Steamboat did come up a lot. I hate to say it. He's a great character. And Lawler.
Who? Lawler.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
I thought about suggesting Lawler, and then I was just like, man, like, he's such a piece of shit. And then I just went with Dundee.
Because Dundee, that whole Memphis crew.
Yeah.
Because they know how to adapt so well.
We were talking, so Heenan got brought up. I didn't want to bring up Heenan, like I thought about Heenan, and then he got brought up to me, and I was like, I didn't want to bend the rules because he's not a wrestler, quote unquote. So like, then I started thinking about other managers, and then I just pictured Gary Hart standing next to like today's generation of wrestlers.
Like, oh hell yeah.
Gary Hart standing next to Adam Cole, just dwarfing him.
Or Paul Ellering.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Who else? Junkyard
Dog would be fun. Because he was
Buddy Rose.
So yeah, Buddy Rose got brought up. Adonis got brought up. Some of the guys that like end up, burnt out real quick. I think in 2022, like they'd be better off. Like I think they, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be working fucking 8 times a week and whatever on hard ass rings. They'd be working Wednesday, like, and indie dates if they wanted, or WWE even has a reduced schedule now. I brought up Bockwinkel.
Bach would be great.
Yeah,
French Catch.
Yeah, perfect.
The French Catch guys.
Yeah, I was trying to think of people from World of Sport. And
Jim Breaks, even though he's a murderer. That's not a politically correct answer, but Jim Breaks, even though he's a murderer and all. He did that in the late 80s though.
Not World of Sport, but I landed on Billy Robinson.
Yeah, Billy Robinson would be phenomenal.
But I could see Billy Robinson not getting over in this generation because he was so mat based, and like in AEW, like there's too much cool shit going on to just be like the mat work.
Right. But the episode after that, speaking of workers, we have Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn from NXT 12/11/2014.
Holy shit. I just watched that the other day.
It's the one where Kevin Owens turns on him.
Yeah.
Rockers versus Buddy Rose and Doug Summers from AWA, Christmas of 1986.
Is that the cage match?
I'm not sure.
No, it's not the cage match, because cage match was that Super Clash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Katsuyori Shibata versus Junakiyama from Wrestle 1 in 2005.
I'm going to be so sad watching Shibata.
And then Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior, SummerSlam 89.
Warrior.
I think that is the cage, though. Because Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior did fight in the cage in SummerSlam 89.
Yeah. Rude got brought up in that AEW discussion too.
Oh yeah, Rude. Definitely Rude. Yeah. Stan Hansen. Did Hansen get brought up?
Yes, Hansen got brought up.
Carlos Colon?
No. That's
Carlos
a good one.
Colon get brought up? That's a good one. Abdullah.
I had an interesting one. Sayama came up a lot. We debated on if you can use Liger because he's not really known for his work in the 80s. We kind of had the same debate about Misawa and Vader. I said Hamada.
Hamada would be good.
A lot of Joshi, a lot of the 80s.
Dumb Matsumoto. Matsumoto would be awesome in AEW.
Crush gals, or crush girls.
Just dump Matsumoto in AEW would be the idea of her just wrecking things in 2022
for Riho.
Prime dump Matsumoto is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of others. Andre, it would have to be pre 1983. Andre.
Yeah, Cass brought up Andre too. I mean, it's
because if you ever watch the Andre Hansen match, that sort of changed my opinion on Andre because it's like Andre was when he got pushed to be on top. He was not as mobile.
Yeah. And everybody that went to WWF for the national expansion just stopped working. You know what I mean?
Shiro Koshinaka, maybe?
I don't remember if he got brought up or not.
Did somebody bring up Shiro Koshinaka?
I don't think so.
Or Masa Saito or Ricky Choshu would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think Choshu got brought up. He's another one I don't know. It's him, Jumbo, Eddie Gilbert, all kind of fit into.
Eddie Gilbert would be awesome.
But
no doubt.
They'd also be headaches, though. You know what I mean?
They'd be headaches, but Dutch Mantel would be awesome.
Yeah, that's another one. Piper got Portland Piper got brought up.
Hennig.
Yeah, yes. We brought up just for one match alone, I would like to see this form of Bryan Danielson versus Ronnie Garvin.
Oh,
my chest hurts.
Young. He's still wrestling, so we sort of know what he's like with modern wrestling. But prime Negro Casas.
Yes, I think Casas got brought up too because I was trying to think of luchadors, and that's how we landed on Hamada.
Satanico, Atlantis. Atlantis can still move, and Casas can still move. Satanico is phenomenal.
Yes. I can't remember who else we brought up. Savage got brought up. Savage would be incredible.
Yeah. You can't forget Savage because
Rote had a really interesting one. This is one that kind of the Junkyard Dogs and everything, where you're talking about guys that would hopefully do better in this generation. Barry Windham got brought up.
Oh, yeah, Barry Windham would do a lot better. Arn would do a lot better in this generation.
Well, we were joking around with it because we were talking about
the pistol.
Well, not just that. We were talking about Arn, like how like Arn, like we were joking about Arn, Tully, Sting, and the Rock and Roll Express being like in the conversation, but like, holy shit, they're still like they're all surrounding AEW. Like Rock and Roll's even been on their TV. They're about to wrestle FTR. Arn and Tully are still out there. Sting's still wrestling.
Rock and Rolls are as good as they were in 1986.
Yeah.
That's the phenomenal part. Tenor. The tenor got brought up.
I believe so, because we were trying to sort through like the top guys in Japan.
Tenor would be freaking awesome because
I brought up, I don't know how, okay. I know a lot of people, I know he's very polarizing to people, but Brody
yes.
for Brody versus Mox.
Brody versus Mox. Nobuhiko Takada, maybe.
So some of the guys like, well, Takada, I guess doesn't really apply to this. Takada got brought up. Yeah, Takada did get brought up. Les Owens brought up. That was his first name was Takada, now that I think about it.
Yeah, so at least we got to have this discussion. And that closes out our episode.
Yeah.
Looking at future episodes, some of these episodes are so stacked.
Oh, I know. When like, dude, every time I look at the list, I just like, especially like when we went on that long hiatus, and I would just like randomly scroll the list and be like, oh, hey, let me watch this awesome lucha match or whatever. Like, yeah, it's a stacked list every week.
Yeah, it's a stacked list every week. Even though we didn't have as much things to say this week, it's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah. For those that don't know, our list is, it's a list people made of, you know, contenders for the greatest match of all time. And they
have to be nominated and stuff like that. I should update. I should update it. Take out the ones but that's too much work.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother.
I wouldn't even bother.
Yeah, but
there are 2021 matches. There are some matches that got nominated. You know.
Yeah, it's fine. I just was explaining to everyone that like we took that list and put it in a randomizer. So some weeks you'll get an episode like this where it just so happens to be 4 matches that there isn't much to say about. Some weeks you'll get matches that there's a ton to talk about.
Yeah, sometimes it'll be 4 bangers, and then it'll be like, you know, and sometimes it'll be 1 banger that we'll spend 45 minutes on, and then I just looked at episode 150. The Boneyard match is the same episode as Okada Shibata. I'm being dead serious.
Oh, God, the Boneyard match is on this?
Yes, and how the randomizer got it. It's the same episode as the Okada Shibata match.
Guess
that's probably going to be the longest episode.
I have to watch effectively the end of Shibata's career, and then I have to watch a cinematic match with the Undertaker. Oh,
I was just going through it, and I'm like, bruh.
Oh, speaking of match reviews, did you see my last tweet right before we went on?
No, I didn't. What was it?
I guess Tony Khan was on Cage Match today, and or on Busted Open today, and he said like he goes on Cage Match to read reviews, and I was like, oh, Tony, no,
Tony, no, Tony, no.
Just go to Grapple Fuck. Just read the Observer. Follow me on Twitter. I don't know.
Listen to this podcast.
Yeah. God. Yeah, listen to Social Suplex and listen to us. Listen to One Nation Radio.
Listen to Voice of the listen to the flagship who celebrated 10 years this week.
You know Lanza, Lanza and Crage. Talk to them, please.
God. He wants a whole opinion. That's what makes him a good promoter.
Listen, yeah, dude. Listen to Brian and Vinny. I don't know.
No, I don't really like Vinny's opinions, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I differ with him. It's just, I don't know. I think that's kind of an age thing, though.
Yeah.
Cage match.
God, Cage. You're like, I just saw your tweet. I'm like, bruh. The saga of Adam and Twitter is just phenomenal too, because it's like, I'm off Twitter. I'm gonna take a break and then deactivate my account, and then I'm on Twitter.
Yeah, I came back because I don't know. I came back, deactivated again because I came back because there was one thing I wanted to talk about, and then I came back again to talk about other things because there was a problem in our community that needed to be snuffed out, and I kind of was debating, and then Wrestle Cringe messaged me, Cringe Wrestling Takes, and he asked me if I wanted to do a space with him before Dynamite, and that's the main reason I'm staying on. We did a space right before Dynamite, and we had about
it was successful. I saw how many people were in there. It was like I hopped on for like a minute because I was out on Wednesday.
So it's hard for me to like keep track of how many people are in there because I don't really look at that. I like to scroll the timeline in case like anything comes out while we're discussing stuff, because
stuff could come out. Yeah.
Like if we would have done it like 2 hours earlier, we would have been doing a Dynamite preview, and all of a sudden we find out Danielson's like wrestling Garcia, but we like wouldn't see it if I'm not scrolling the timeline. So you kind of like need to keep afloat on stuff.
Keep an eye. Yeah. Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill. Hey. Those are the best days in class, watching Bill Nye. Yeah. We go from wrestling to Bill Nye, the science guy. That's how we do.
We do it.
Plugs. I just plugged your Twitter for you at AdamYuri4.
Yep. What happened to the other three Adams? My Twitter, Non-Toxic Wrestling Friends, Discord. Catch me on Spaces before Dynamite every Wednesday. I might, me and Wrestle Cringe might do more spaces going forward. We have possibly a pretty big guest lined up. Danny, I'm sure you can guess who it is. Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
So yeah, catch us there. Thanks for listening.
DJ D Cooks on Twitter. On me. GWE Discord too. My Discord server. We have to get that thing popping.
Yeah. Social Suplex Discord, of course.
Social Suplex Discord, Social Suplex Podcast Network, One Nation Radio.
Yes.
Keeping it strong style and all the other podcasts. Bam, we're done.
All right.